Hey everybody, this is the fifth part, uh, final part, maybe a little bit longer than the other parts. But where we left off was exploited. Um, in this world, you see that a lot of people are exploited. And we've had to do a lot in this world to keep people from being exploited. Um, Peoples that are underprivileged is one. People with disabilities is another. Um, and those that have kind of been pushed away, forced away, um, kind of sort of like the movie Divergent, pushed into the outskirts. Um, Whether that be through homelessness, through just any kind of being antagonized into being a certain way, and they could not be pushed into that. So, I know that there's a lot of talk about disabilities and different things like that. And yes, all things are good when, for the most part, when those are children and youth. And I appreciate people getting on here and talking about that because it needs to be talked about. But there's another layer to it, is when those become adults. We don't talk enough about the things that go on in adult situations where you still have adult bullies. You still have these ones that have grown up and still play that out in life when they see someone that doesn't have as much, or at some type of disadvantage or some type of difference. They're doing that in their adulthood. And we don't talk about that enough, And I know a lot of parents that have a disabled child, they feel like they're having a hard time raising that child. But what I want to say is that child is having a hard time, and they're going to have a hard time as an adult as well, whether you're around or whether you're gone. And the best thing you can do is to also look at the things that you see in the world that you don't want your child to experience as an adult, because they will grow up and become an adult. And if they're a disabled child, they will be a disabled adult. Open for other people to possibly exploit them. It's a sad truth to the way our world operates, but there's something that needs to be looked at within our world when we see adult bullying other adults in our world because of their differences. Doesn't mean that they're slower. It means they have a different way that they operate. And everyone is not going to operate exactly the same, and that is okay. But the problem is adults that have not matured beyond the age of 12 growing up and walking around in this world and being like a child in an adult body, doing the things that children do, and never maturing beyond a certain area in their mind. It's not the people that's disabled that cannot mature or have not matured, because a lot of times you'll see people that are disabled that have a mind not to harm anybody, that like to get to know people for who they are. That is maturity to me. I want to know a person for who they are. That is maturity. That is not, in my eyes, any type of disability. That is a beautiful thing. And in this world, it is not that way in the adult realm. So really, I would like people to look at, what are you doing in the world? Not just in your home, but outside of that as well, because they will grow up. And we're already actively living in this world, but what are you doing? Are you doing some of the same tactics that you don't want done to you or to anyone you know or to any loved one? So I'm going to stop it right there and keep going. But through all of this, there are some that are going to have this obsession. They're going to be restless. They're going to be in a lot of stress and anxiety and confusion for the things that have been done. Don't allow yourself to fall into any anxiety or stress or confusion over it, because God is watching over all of that. That was 511 on the timer at the time. Last and overall message is the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, there's been a loss, but you're coming out of that loss. You're coming away from the losses, and you're learning how to balance life with the Two of Wands overall energy, balancing your responsibility, balancing what needs to be done versus what doesn't need to be done, balancing what needs to be in your life versus what does not need to be in your life. There will be balance. There will be balance. There will be balance that where it needs to be. And you're coming back from a loss, so it's a comeback. Whatever was meant to set you off track, to slow you down, you'll be coming back from that. Whatever losses that have been lost, let them remain lost. Let them remain where they are. That was done to remove it anyway. You don't have to live in stress and anxiety or confusion. Those energies is for those that caused or wanted to exploit, or wanted to meddle in your business, or wanted to go to a shadow person, or wanted to take your personal power, or wanted to be a rat and suck and bite and take from you. That negative energy is not yours. What you have is a balancing of your responsibilities, a coming back from the loss, and being able to move forward with divine power, with your personal power. You're not going to be slowed down. You're going to keep moving forward. You're going to keep moving forward. Whatever was meddled in, whatever fell off, whoever fell off, whoever changed their mind from a word from somebody that they don't know, let them keep going in the direction that they're going, and you keep going in your path to purpose. Anything that was knocked off, that fell off, anything that had a negative word to say about you is not for you. Anyone that had a negative word to say about you is not for you. Anyone that had a negative word to say about you is not for you. Anyone that had a negative word to say about you is not for you. I don't care who they are. I don't care what package they come in. I don't care what they say. You can forgive it and move on, and let them move on their path. Let them have the stress, anxiety, confusion. Let them have the enlightening and awakening that they need to have, not by being in your face, by being in your absence. All right, y'all. When we